Evans, and this is the Teen Relationship Hotline, Episode 2. This is a continuation of the first episode, which we had Brandon on the show, and now we have the other side of the story, Jen. How are you doing?
Good.
So, as we continue the show today, we want to know what's been happening. We want to get your side of the story. So, if you don't mind, would you tell us what happened?
With me and Brandon?
Or, yes, start off with there.
Okay. Well, me and Brandon were dating, I was dating DJ, and then me and him, broke up and everything, And then me and Brandon started going out, and we dated for 3 weeks, and I ended up breaking up with him because I wanted to date my best friend, Killian, which he's not my best friend anymore because he's a big jerk and a player. But I ended up dumping Killian a week later for him flirting with other girls and everything. And then after that, I was single for about 3 days because I didn't want a boyfriend. And then before third period today at school, my friend Gabe Mitchell asked me out, and I said, heck yeah. That's my story.
The entirety of this problem is that so the reason why you broke up with Killian was because he was cheating on you, or he was just being what was it?
He wasn't cheating on me. He was just flirting around with this other girl named Brooke. And now I was going to knock Killian's teeth out because he wouldn't leave me alone. He touches girls inappropriately, like in their upstairs area, and sometimes in their downstairs. And he was just really mean. And I found out he used to be bi, so that kind of was a turn off too.
So the way that basically what you're saying is, what I want to know, the thing I want to know right now is, why did you date him in the first place?
Well, at first, I really liked him, and he was really sweet, and he would talk to me every day, and he would always hug me no matter what. And then, all of a sudden, a few days later, it all turned, and he wouldn't talk to me. And he was trying to get me ISS, which is in-school suspension. He was trying to get me ISS for saying that I was spreading rumors about him when I haven't talked to him or about him in 3 days. The only thing I've said about him is that I hate his guts. That's all I've ever said about him, but I didn't say it to him.
In my point of view, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this Killian dude, or whatever, I think he's being he's faking it, the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much, because he's just a player. I don't date players, and I don't date cheaters or liars, and he hurts girls emotionally. I'm surprised that he can even get a girl after hurting them like he does.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But alright, before we continue on, if you don't mind my asking, how many guys in your relationship, in your teen life, have you dated? How many?
Basically, my whole life, I've dated 25 guys.
Oh my God.
But I've dated about maybe 5 or so. Maybe less than that. Might be maybe 3 or 5, around somewhere in there.
So, in that area. Alright, so what I'm looking at this, can you tell us, how you were telling me earlier, who is the first guy that you've ever dated? And I want, if you can do it, you go on and on saying, who was the first person that you dated?
The first person I dated, it was during the summer. I was going to be going into 3rd grade, and I was dating Tyler Bayless. He was my new neighbor who had just moved in. I've known him for about 5 or 6 years now.
3rd grade?
Yes, I was in 3rd grade when me and him started dating.
That's actually a very amazing story. I've never heard anybody done that before.
Yeah.
So, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I have seen some people. Brandon tells me that you said that you love him, and then I think he feels that you lied to him because you switched to Killian, and now you're switching to someone else. So, I think the problem is, do you believe that you hurt them?
I'm not really for sure. I mean, I do. I still love Brandon because he is one of my best friends. Brandon is also one of my everything because it's been a really, really long time, almost a year since I've had a boyfriend who hasn't played me or cheated on me or anything. And Brandon's like the total opposite. I mean, he's like a true Christian. A lot of these other guys, they're like acting like that they're all that and that they're kind of bigger than God and that they're just trying to act like players and everything. And he was the first real guy that I've ever had in years that hasn't ever been like that.
But if he's so good, then why did you leave him for Killian? He was very sad when he was talking to me on the show.
Well, like I liked Brandon. It's just he would constantly talk about his ex-girlfriend Haley, which they had recently broke up when he had asked me out. And he would always talk about how Haley was texting him and everything like that, and he would always be talking about Haley. And it was just the fact that he was always mentioning her name in almost every conversation we had.
Oh, I can see how you wouldn't like that. Alright. Yeah. So, right now, I want... When the guys do ask you out, what do they say? What is the thing to say? Do they say the same thing over and over again, or is it that they just ask you different things?
Whatever, they'll start trying to be my friend and everything, and it always works. I always want to be friends with a guy because I just think that guys are really cool to hang out with, even though I'm a girl. Stuff like that. I've got a problem with guys in my life, so I think that's cool. But when they ask me out and everything, they'll either get like one of their best friends to do it if they're too nervous to, or they'll come up and they'll give me a note, or they'll put one in my locker and ask me
so they do the coward's way, ask their friend to do it. Have you ever gone out with a guy whose friend asked them?
Yeah, that actually happened with Gabe today. Like, he was going to ask me out, but he had my best friend Jenna do it for him because I was in my homeroom, and Gabe was having to do something to his locker or something like that. I don't know what he was doing, but I was in my homeroom trying to get my friend's stuff for her, and she came in there. She came rushing in there. She's like, hey, Gabe wants to know if you'll go out with him, like, right now. I'm like, right now? And she goes, yeah. I said, heck yeah, I will.
No. Warning, alert. This is the biggest mistake I have ever heard in my life. Because what I've learned, I really don't really get involved in relationships. People make fun of me, they say, oh, you're just nerdy Roman, you're not going to get anything. But, that doesn't matter to me. Because I don't really need to do that. I can see with my own eyes. What I see right here is this kid doesn't have that much confidence to go up to you and ask him himself. What do you think?
He does have, like, a lot of confidence. I mean, this kid is wild. I mean, I think he's got, like, a little bit of ADHD, but not too bad. He's my type, except there's one thing that's just not my type, and it's that he's racist a little bit. But he doesn't hate black people. It's not that. It's just he hates that they commit murder.
But the thing is bothering me. Like, I mean, most girls would say, oh, no, this guy is such a loser. He asked my best friend to ask me out. I mean, don't you think that's a big no-no? I mean, he wouldn't ask you out himself if he really liked you.
Wait, hang on. What? My dad came in my room.
Alright. Okay, so what you're saying is, I keep thinking to myself that it's pretty hard that he would ask you from a friend. What do you think?
I don't think that's really all that bad. I mean, because they do get nervous when they want to ask out a friend or whatever, because I get like that, because I don't know if that person really actually even likes me, because I never asked.
But that's like the whole point. That's the whole point of it. You're supposed to go ask the girl you like,
Yeah.
But if that's your decision, that's a good decision. If you think personally that. In my personal opinion, I think that you should not. But if my predictions are correct, I will bet myself $5 that in the next week or so, possibly you will break up with him. Possibly. No offense. I'm just saying. If it doesn't, that's great. But if it does, I'll bet myself $5 and I'll pay myself and I'll be a little happy ass. So, alright, so what do you think other guys think of you after you just dump them? Do you think that they're hateful or mad, or what's the situation?
Well, the other guys, what they think of me, this is like the honest truth that's coming from me. The guys that go to my school, they basically fear me a little bit.
Also, they fear you. You're a feisty one.
Yeah, I'm a fighter. If anyone tries to push my buttons, they're gonna have a broken nose, and their face is gonna be broken too, because everybody knows that if they're gonna mess with me, they're gonna know I'm gonna beat them up. I'm one fight. I'm not the type of girly girl. I'm a tomboy at heart, and so if anybody messes with me, I beat the crap out of them. And they don't mess with me after that. This one kid moved away from my school after I hit him in the face, and he still lives on my neighborhood.
You're very feisty then.
Yeah.
Alright. But, so, as I was asking, what do you think that the other guys think, how they feel? I interviewed Brandon. I had to break him the truth. I told him what happened.
Okay, okay. Okay, I kind of don't understand what you're trying to ask me.
I'm asking you, because what you did was you asked the guys out, and, I'm sorry, the guys asked you out, you go out with them, but, like Brandon, he really liked you, he still loves you with all his heart, as he says on my previous show, but I want to imagine what he's feeling right now. He's hurt. You know what, I bet all the other guys are hurt too.
Well, the guys I've dated aren't really hurt. Like, they could care less. He's Brandon's friend. Like, me and DJ, we had after our third time breaking up, we had a big fight, and he was cussing me out. This is the worst fight I've ever had after dumping a guy. He cussed me out, sent me death threats, and he sent me sexual harassment threats. But, we worked it out, but my friend's dad's a cop, so he shouldn't be saying that stuff, and he really shouldn't be saying it anyways, regardless of whether I have a friend who's done that.
So you know that kid DJ is just a fake the whole time, and then because you said this, he'll expose himself to you, and you now know that the whole time, he was just kissing ass, and he wasn't really being serious.
Well, he actually kind of was serious, but I can remember what he said to me. He said, I hope you get raped and killed one day. And he said, I would come down to Tennessee just to F you and then leave you after getting you all knocked up and pregnant. And I'm thinking, dude, what makes you think I'm going to do that with you? I'm staying a virgin until I'm married. And then me and him, we ended up talking a few weeks later after he was done cussing me out, calling me a B and everything like that. Me and him have been talking, and now me and him are, best friends. I mean, we're, really tight and everything. Me and him are, best friends. And
are you still best friends right now?
Yeah.
After he said that to you, you're still best friends? After he said all those things to you?
Yeah, me and him, we are still best friends. He even said that we're friends. And, right now, he just sent me some messages on Facebook. I'll tell you what he said. Okay, he came up to me on the island and said, hey. I said, hey. And he goes, who's Gabe? And I said, my BF who goes to my school. He goes, oh. And I said, yeah, why do you sound sad? He goes, I'm missing you. And then I said, I miss you too. And he goes, really bad, and then I said, okay. And he said, I just didn't know how to tell you.
I think right now that this is a pure original case of people getting, they get hurt. I get hurt. They get hurt. Because I can see how Brandon feels, how DJ probably feels, and the rest. Because you do tell them that you love them on the first day. Do you or do you not?
It depends. Brandon told me he loved me right before we even started going out, and I had a boyfriend at the time, and I didn't feel comfortable saying it to him because I just didn't, because I had a boyfriend. I didn't want to say I loved him back, but after I broke up with DJ, before we, me and him, after we broke up and everything, Brandon still said he loved me. He finally asked me out, and I said, yeah. Then 3 weeks later, and, I broke up with him 3 weeks later, and then, because the truth is, the reason, too, I also broke up with Brandon was, I loved Killian way before I knew Brandon existed. And that's what I told Brandon. And plus, Brandon eventually stopped calling me, and, there was this one day, he just had stopped calling me. His phone lost service and everything, and I'm thinking, is he dead or something? Because he's going to be getting his permit pretty soon. I'm like, okay, is he dead or what? It took him 3 days to call me and tell me he lost service on his cell phone. And then he stopped calling me after that again. And
wait, hold on. We'll be back with a part 2, guys. Please stay tuned for part 2. The link is in the description below. Please stay tuned for part 2. Very interesting story. We'll be back.